perfect person often loses, but a consistent one, they always win. Why? Because perfection is a trap, but consistency is a path. Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about a mindset shift that can completely transform your life. Choosing consistency over perfection. So many of us think, I'll start when everything is perfect. But here's the truth. Perfection is an illusion, and consistency, it's a superpower. Let's get one thing straight. Perfection is a lie we've been sold. We've been conditioned to believe that if something isn't flawless, it's not worth doing, that if we don't have the perfect plan, the perfect setup, the perfect timing, we shouldn't even start. And that mindset, it's not just unproductive, it's paralyzing. Don't think about it. How many dreams have died before they even began, just because someone thought they weren't ready? How many talents were buried under self-doubt, simply because that attempt didn't go perfectly? We've all said it to ourselves at some point. I'll start when I have everything figured out. I'll launch when it's perfect. I'll try again once I'm sure I won't fail. But let me ask you this, when was the last time anything in life was perfect? The truth is, perfection is a moving target. No matter how good something is, there will always be room for improvement. That video you want to record, you'll always find a better angle. That business you want to start, there will always be one more thing to learn. That goal you've been holding back on, there's always going to be fear, and that's okay, because the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to start, to show up, to try, fail, learn, and grow. Let me tell you what perfection actually is. It's a mask for fear. It's fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. And as long as you chase perfection, you'll never take the risks that lead to real growth. On the other hand, people who win, the ones who succeed, create, lead, and inspire, are rarely perfect. But they are brave enough to be imperfect. They take messy action. They start before they're ready. They fail forward. So, stop waiting. Stop polishing and planning until it's just right, because done is better than perfect. Starting messy is better than never starting at all. Perfection is a trap, but action is freedom. Let go of perfect, and watch how far you can really go. Let's bust another myth today. Confidence doesn't come first, consistency does. We often think we need to feel confident before we can start doing something big, whether it's speaking in public, starting a business, hitting the gym, or chasing a dream. We wait for confidence to magically show up, but here's the truth, most people don't realize confidence is not the fuel, it's the reward. Confidence is what you earn after you show up, again and again, even when you're unsure, nervous, or scared. And how do you earn it? Through consistency. Let's take a real-life example. Imagine someone who wants to become a great speaker. On day one, they're anxious. They fumble their words, maybe even freeze on stage, but they do it anyway. Then they do it again next week, and again, and again. Every time they're a little more composed, a little more prepared, a little more themselves. What changed? Did they suddenly become fearless? No. Did they eliminate all mistakes? Definitely not. But they became consistent, and that consistency built experience, and experience built confidence. You don't need to be confident to start. You need to start to become confident. Consistency teaches your brain something very important. I can rely on myself. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, you're proving to yourself that you're capable, disciplined, and resilient. That kind of self-trust is what creates true confidence. Not external praise, not applause, not perfection, but showing up repeatedly, even when nobody's watching. And here's something powerful. You don't need to take massive steps to build confidence. You just need to take repeated, small, consistent steps. Because each one is like a brick. You stack them, day by day. Eventually you've built something unshakable. Compare that to someone who waits, who only moves when they feel 100% ready. They may feel safe, but they stay stuck because confidence never grows without action. So if you're struggling with doubt, fear, or insecurity right now, here's the best thing you can do. Pick one small action and do it consistently. Even when you don't feel ready, especially when you don't, because it's not the confident who become consistent. It's the consistent who become confident. Here's a simple truth that most people ignore. You don't need to do big things to make a big difference. You just need to do small things consistently. Let's talk about the power of small wins. Because the truth is, most success doesn't come from one big life-changing moment. It comes from tiny, almost invisible efforts repeated over time. Think about water dripping on a rock. One drop does nothing. 10 drops, still nothing. But let that water fall, drop by drop, for months or years, and it will carve the rock. That's the power of consistency. That's what happens when small wins compound. The problem is, most people underestimate the value of small efforts. They think, one workout won't change my body. One day of writing won't finish my book. One sales call won't grow my business. And they're right, one day won't change everything. But one day repeated 100 times, that will change anything. Small wins are the seeds of greatness. Every time you do something, even if it seems small, you're making progress. You're building momentum. You're creating a pattern that compounds into something powerful. Let's look at a real-world example. If you improved yourself by just 1% every day, at the end of 1 year, you wouldn't just be 365% better. You'd be over 37 times better, thanks to the compounding effect. That's math. But more importantly, it's mindset. Every great athlete, artist, entrepreneur, or leader you admire didn't get there overnight. They just kept showing up, day after day, stacking wins, big or small, until something extraordinary happened. Here's the beauty of small wins. They don't require talent. They don't need perfection. They just need you to start, and you to continue. So stop waiting for that one big breakthrough. Instead, ask yourself daily, what is one small win I can get today? It could be finishing a chapter, walking for 20 minutes, recording a 60-second video, reading 5 pages, waking up on time. These may look small today, but in a month, they'll look like momentum. In a year, they'll look like transformation. Because small wins don't just build results, they build belief. You don't need a giant leap. You need a small step, taken again and again. Let's get honest about something we've all heard. Since childhood, he's just naturally talented. She was born with it. We've been told over and over again that success belongs to the most gifted, the most talented, the naturally brilliant. But here's the truth. Talent may give you a head start, but consistency wins the race every single time. Look around you. The people who are truly successful in business, fitness, education, or creativity aren't always the most talented. They're the ones who refused to quit, the ones who kept showing up, even on the days when motivation disappeared, even on the days they failed, even when no one was watching, because hard work beats talent, especially when talent doesn't show up. Think of talent like a spark. It can get you excited. It might help you start strong, but without consistency, without fuel, that spark dies out. But a consistent person, even without a spark, they build a fire, slowly, patiently, brick by brick, until it becomes unstoppable. Let me give you an example. Have you ever seen someone in school or work who wasn't the smartest in the room, but they always studied, always prepared, always pushed forward? And over time, they outperformed the naturally gifted ones who relied only on talent. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's the compounding power of consistency. Here's the truth. Talent is something you're born with. Consistency is something you choose, and choices shape your destiny more than any gift ever could. Consistency is about showing up when it's hard. It's about doing the work even when you don't feel like it. It's about progress, not perfection. And that mindset, that discipline, it crushes raw talent over time, because talent without effort is potential wasted. But effort without talent is potential unleashed. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be relentless. Show up, stay in the game, outlast the rest. And remember, the most talented may rise fast, but the most consistent rise forever. So here's your challenge for today. Stop waiting for perfect. Start choosing consistent. One small win each day may not feel like much, but 1 year from now, it could change your entire life. Remember this. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Now go and be consistent. Your future self is counting on it.